St. Jago de la Vega, Spanish Town Square. And so let me start off with the PM. Yesterday, we saw the Jamaica Labour Party rolled out, I think, a 60-page document that they talked about their achievement. But they were so hasty in putting this thing together that even the word Jamaica was spelled incorrectly in parts of the documents there. Some people will say that was a typo, but certainly it's worth mentioning. The fact of the matter is that government, from time to time, will put forward things. When PJ Patterson ruled or the PNP ruled for 18 years, people tend to say PJ was there for 18 years. PJ wasn't there for 18 years. PJ took over from Michael Manley in Michael Manley's second term, and he won 3 terms on his own. And when the PNP put forward a solid achievement document, you could feel it, you could touch it. Whether it was from the highway, the conception of the highway to basically building out them, you could see the JUTC bus, that company that was put in place, the new schools that were built, the car market being open so everybody could see the revolution in the telecommunication system, that massive invasion, Spanish invasion it was called, with the tourism sector and so on. All of those things were there, palpable. You could touch, you could feel, people were feeling much better about their lives. We hear that there's a 60-page document. The people are no worse off. The fact is that what $6,200 could buy at the beginning of this government administration, that was the minimum wage. 16,000 cannot purchase that now. And it is the sad truth. But of course, we speak truth to power here without any fear or favor. So one will really just have to hug those things, put those in your pipe and smoke it, as it were. So I think what we saw yesterday mirrors the quintessential desperation by Prime Minister Andrew Michael Brogard Rodham Holness. And I think that's a clear sign that the writing is on the wall, that this Holness administration has crumbled. The people have really turned their back on Holness and his administration. And at the 9th hour, we're seeing where the Prime Minister is out there in the broiling sun. It's the same Prime Minister who would treat a young man here on campus when he dared to ask a question of the Prime Minister. When the Prime Minister rushed him and asked him with his face, you could see every string, every vein in the PM face when he asked the young man who would dare him and that kind of thing. And it was done with a level of effrontery, a level of disregard. Because at that point, the Prime Minister believed that he was riding high. The Prime Minister come to us and he said, listen, you can turn it up and turn it down. As if the Jamaican people are up piped up, that you can turn on your water heavy and then you turn it down. Or it's an electricity switch that you can turn on and off a light bulb. But now, we're seeing the utter collapse, and the people of Jamaica, both at home and abroad, is saying to PM Holness, we have seen enough of you. You have reneged on a number of your promises. And guess what? I'll mention 2 of those promises. That wouldn't have to take a lot of money. but take commitment and don't be in a position where you think that you own power. One is the fixed election date that the Prime Minister had promised. And I hear Kamina Johnson-Smith and others try to make all sorts of excuses. The other fixed election date where I saw noted attorney, the man who is the guru on the Constitution here in Jamaica, Dr. Lyde Barnett. The paper is reporting this morning that he clashed with Minister Malahoo Fort on that because it is nowhere even in the constitutional reform. So the Labour Party has leaned so heavily on that they didn't even see it fit to put in the manifesto, in the constitutional reform document. I want to move quickly. And again, I just want to say, because I have to speak from my own conscience. And if I'm holding people accountable and I'm speaking truth to power, then even when it's a thought process of mine, I think it is noteworthy to share my thought process or processes with my listeners and indeed my viewers. When I heard that the PNP, the People's National Party, was going to be having this meeting in Emancipation Square there in Spanish Town, I said to myself that, boy, I don't know that it was such a good thing, because I think that the PNP should take that meeting to Old Harbour to give Dr. Wall a quote-unquote bounce, or to take it somewhere in Northeast St. Catherine to sort of give Andreen a bounce there as well. But I must confess, and I must give kudos to the General Secretary and the President of the People's National Party and the entire Secretariat, the aggregation that looking at these things. And my friend Andrea always said that, listen, she believed that the party know what they're doing, and sometimes we must just chill. The people must just chill, even while you make a suggestion, but just watch what they're doing. And when I heard the theme around the conference last night, the importance of emancipation for our people, and what that square means, that march from Stony Gut to Spanish Town by national hero Paul Bogle, what that means to us as a people. I said, my goodness gracious me. This is a party that is showing readiness to take over government and to provide quality leadership for the people of Jamaica. But not only that, what we saw there last night, my golly, it is something that is historic, monumental. Spanish Town, almost up to where Sagicor is, Burke Road, everywhere in Spanish Town was transformed into a sea of orange last night. And we saw speaker after speaker after speaker remind Jamaica of the historic value of that square and what it meant to us. And it's so tightly tied in with tomorrow being 1st of August, and as I started out by hailing a PJ Patterson. These are seminal achievements, and things that mean a lot to us as a people. And when Mark Jefferson Golden, the man who is on the bridge, that is said to be the next Prime Minister of Jamaica, the 10th Prime Minister of Jamaica, when he took to the podium after being introduced by his firebrand, hard-working General Secretary, the man Dr. Dayton Campbell. Marky G wasted no time to remind us how full his heart was and how happy indeed he was and what he can envisage when the people celebrated Emancipation Day, or the people were emancipated. It was a good look. And based on what we saw there yesterday, it shows that a number of constituencies in that parish that ordinary people would pencil in for the Labour Party, they're in place. I saw Dr. Wall on his feet there last night, and he was moving like a man possessed, a man who has a heart for the people and a man who is committed to transform that constituency of Southwest. Is it Southwest? Yes, Southwest St. Catherine. Now being represented in Parliament by Clifford Warmington. And it is indeed, these are the things that we're looking at. Andrin up there in Northeast St. Catherine is another one that we have to watch. The radar are certainly out, and I believe that we're going to see some major situation in the upcoming general election. That's a fireman's take. That's Conrad's take. Stay with me. Don't leave the program.